Now let's go ahead and store this final price into our database. So the steps to do this is actually quite simple. You just need to go ahead and make modifications to your model first. So let's first go to the models.py file, and in here in the order you can simply go ahead and add another field which is called as total. So I can say something like total equals models dot, and let's say we want to store this in form of a character. So char field, the max length is going to be equal to, let's say, 200. So you can actually go ahead and store this in an integer or a float format as well if you want to, but for now I'm just going to use the char field for this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make the migrations as we have made changes to the model. So I'll say something like Python 3 manage.py make migrations, and now let's go ahead and provide a one-off default for everything. So that means it's basically now asking us that, okay, you have actually added this new field, but you already have certain items in your database, and for those particular orders which we have in our database, they don't have a value for the total cost or the total amount. So now we can go ahead and provide a default value by typing in the option 1. So in here, I have simply added the default value as 1, and now the new field has been created. So now let me just type in Python 3 manage.py migrate, and everything is now working well. So now let's go ahead and see if we actually have that order field in our database. So let's go to /admin, and let's first go ahead and make sure that the server is up and running. Python 3 manage.py run server, and now let's go to the admin, let's log in. And now if we have a look over here, as you can see, we have the total over here as well. And now let's go ahead and make the changes to the form as well. So now in here, if we go to the checkout page, as you can see, we don't currently have any field up over here which actually accepts the order total. So now let's go ahead and add that field up over here. So let's go ahead and create another form group for the total amount as well. So what I will simply do here is that I'll simply go ahead, copy this particular div class, and I'll paste it over here. And for this particular thing, let's go ahead and make a few changes. So instead of zip, I'll say something like price, or let's say I say something like amount to be paid. And for the input type, so now let's go ahead and delete everything from the input type for now, and let's add new attributes over here. So this is going to be read only, and the type is going to be equal to text, and the class is going to be form control, and the ID for this is going to be total, and the name for this is going to be total as well. So now once we go ahead and do that, we are pretty much good to go. Now what we wish to do is that now we have this input field over here which we can only read and we cannot add the manual value. So now we actually want to go ahead and get the total value of that particular thing from here and actually assign that value to this particular input field right here, which is nothing but the total. So let's go ahead and do that. So right over here, what I will do is that I'll simply go ahead and I'll get access to the input field. So I'll say $hash total to get access to that particular field, and I will set its value equal to total. So this total is this total which we have right here. And now once we have modified the form and once we have modified the models as well, we need to now modify the view over here. So let's go ahead and at the end add a new field which is called as total, and that's actually going to be equal to request.post.get and get the total from here. And now we also need to add total over here as well. So let's say total equals total. So now once we go ahead and do that, we are pretty much good to go. And now let's go ahead and see if the checkout thing works. So let's go back to our site. And now let me hit refresh. And now let's add a few items. And now we have the total. Let me add some dummy details over here. And as you can see, for the amount to be paid, we now have this automatically filled value, and we cannot change that value up over here. So now when I click on place order, the order has now been placed. And now let's go to the admin and see if we actually have the total for that order. So this order object 5 is the latest one for the order which we have just placed. So if you click over here and if you scroll down, as you can see, now we also got the total added up over here in the database. So that's it for this lecture, and I hope you guys were able to understand how we have stored the total value of our current order in our database. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.